Good morning, students. I am Dr. P.S. Kaushik, Principal at Sri Digambar Institute of Technology, Dosa, Rajasthan. This is my 14th lecture on the subject Engineering Mechanics, and this subject belongs to Civil Engineering and Mechanical Engineering in the third semester. What we learned in the last lecture? We learned the friction angle, then angle of repose, total friction, cone of friction, and a typical problem was solved based on a block kept on a horizontal surface and a pulley is applied at an angle of 30 degree. Here the friction angle. What is friction angle? What we did? Consider this block. Its weight is acting downward, reaction is acting upward, and a pull, say P, is applied. If mu is the coefficient of friction, then a frictional force will be generated equal to mu r, that is F. The angle of the total reaction, that is S, will be theta, and this angle theta is called friction angle. Now, angle of repose. There is a plane surface kept on ground like this. This surface is kept on ground and a block is kept over it, weighing W. Its reaction will be upward. Now, just tip this upward like this, making an angle, gradually increasing the angle like this. An angle will reach at which this block will start sliding downward due to the weight component. So, you can say let this is the block and this is the angle made, say theta. The weight will be acting downward. It will be having two components. One is equal to normal reaction, one is sliding action. In that condition, this will be W sin theta and this will be W cos theta. Now, the action of friction force will be this way and normal reaction will be acting normal to the surface. Then the angle corresponding to which this block just starts sliding downward, motion will be this way. That impending, the angle theta corresponding to that impending condition in which the block is just to start moving downward is called angle of repose. I think clear? Okay. Now, total friction. Total friction, again taking help of the block kept on a horizontal surface. The weight is acting downward, reaction is acting upward, frictional force, this is a force, external force applied is towards the right, then frictional force will be this way, F equal to mu r. This is the center point, center of gravity of the block. Then the resultant of F and R will be this. This is called resultant friction or total friction, S, which is given by S equal to under root of R square plus F square. Then friction angle will be tan theta equal to F upon R. Now next comes the cone of friction. Very important concept you must know. Again we will take the help of a block kept on a horizontal surface. This is the horizontal surface and a block is kept over it. A force is applied like this, P, reaction is acting upward, weight is acting downward. Then the frictional force will be acting like this. If mu is the coefficient of friction, then it will be equal to mu r. Then the resultant will make an angle theta with the reaction. Okay. Now, if I apply this, say this is the east. If I apply this force towards north, then I will consider it a north. Sorry, again. Means I will rotate this force like this, then next like this, then like this, then like this, then like this. I will try to rotate it like this. Then the normal reaction, that is, this frictional force will be acting for this in this way, for this in this way, for this in this way, and like this. This will be the frictional force acting, just opposite to the in which the body tend to move. In this way, you will find that the total reaction will make a conical volume. This is W. Then this will make a cone like this. A conical surface will be generated like this. And you will notice that this is equal to F, and this cone which is being generated at the center point of the center of gravity of the block will make an angle which will be equal to 2 theta. The cone angle will be equal to 2 theta. The apex angle of the cone will be 2 theta. Now, why this concept is important? We will talking about this. For impending condition, this S will be maximum. Total reaction will be maximum. Now, this S will depend upon normal reaction and coefficient of friction. As the normal reaction increases, the frictional force will also increase correspondingly, because frictional force is the multiple of coefficient friction and normal reaction. So, and as long as this normal reaction is less such that the total reaction always lies within the cone, like this. Then any power transmitting machines will be self-locking in nature. As and when this R increases beyond impending condition, such that the frictional force, that the total reaction goes out of this, here, like this. Then the machine will become not self-locking, and by its own, it will get screwed down. For example, yesterday I gave an example of a car. You want to change the wheel of the car, and you are screwing, by using a screw jack, you are just lifting it, and you got tired. What will happen if the screw jack is not self-locking? As and when you leave the handle, the car will get down, and you may get injury or you may damage something. So your screw jack has to be self-locking in nature, and for self-locking condition, that efficiency of the screw jack should be less than 50%. It should be less than 50%. You will be reading it, studying it when we are building the screw jacks in the this chapter only. Now, in this lecture, we will be dealing with the few problems on a block kept on horizontal surface. This we will be dealing next. For inclined surface, we will be dealing in the next lecture, since this lecture would have been very lengthy, so I avoided this in this lecture. Now, you must remember that we will be dealing with two types of force systems. In entire mechanics, we will be dealing two types of force system. That is, first is coplanar concurrent force system. Second one is coplanar non-concurrent force system. For coplanar concurrent force system, since the moment does not come into figure, hence the conditions of static equilibrium are summation fx is equal to 0 or summation fy equal to 0. This is your first equation. Next, for coplanar non-concurrent force system, the conditions of static equilibrium are summation fx is equal to 0, summation fy equal to 0, and summation m equal to 0. Here, this is your second equation. Here, you must remember that As you have already studied from 10th onwards, you are solving the simple equations of 2 and 3 unknowns. Here, because there are only 2 equations, so it can tackle only for 2 unknown only. But the second equation, we have a second case, that is coplanar non-concurrent force system. We are having 3 equations, equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. Hence, we can solve for 3 unknowns in this case. The latter problems will be based on coplanar non-concurrent force system. These block problems are coplanar concurrent force system. Then belt problem again will be coplanar concurrent force system. Then wedge problem we will be dealing separately. Okay. Now take the case that is your first problem we are dealing with. A block weighing 600 Newton has been subjected to a load system as shown in the figure 4.12. Work out the coefficient, the frictional force for the block and state whether it will be in equilibrium or in motion. What additional force needs to be added to this 120 Newton acting towards left so that the block just moves to the left. This is a typical problem, very nice problem. As I told you earlier, these all problems are I have taken from the book Engineering Mechanics by Dr. D.S. Kumar, that is Kataria publication. Very nice book, you can read. Now, consider this force, these forces acting at here. Because we are dealing them as coplanar concurrent force system, so all the forces are acting on this point. We are considering the block as a particle. Hence, its normal reaction will be upward. The force will be here like this at 350. That 120 will be acting like this and weight will be acting this way. So, resolving the forces horizontally and vertically, that is along the plane or vertical to the plane. In all the problems we are going to solve, it may be inclined plane or horizontal plane. We will be resolving the forces along the plane and vertical to the plane in every aspect, in every problem when we are dealing coplanar concurrent force system. So, this you must remember. Here summation f x equal to 0, that is horizontal components of the forces equated to 0 considering the condition of static equilibrium. We have taken the forces towards left as negative and towards right as positive. So minus 120 plus 350 cos 30. This force will be having two components. This is your sine component, this is your cos component. This angle is 30 degree. Okay. So minus 120 plus 350 cos 30 minus F. Minus F. F is a frictional force. Considering that this block is moving towards right. F equal to minus 120 plus 350 into 0.866 is equal to 183 Newton. So hence the block will be moving towards the right. Summation F vertical equal to 0, R plus 350 cosine 30 minus 600, where R is the normal reaction. So normal reaction comes out to be 425 Newton. The maximum value of frictional force is given by F max impending motion, that is mu into R, which is 106.25. This is the maximum force which will be generated due to friction. Frictional force will be maximum this much at the impending condition. If you can remember, we just discussed about this like this. We showed that these are three regions, that is static region, a transition region, and the dynamic or kinetic region here. So this is the maximum, that is beyond which the body will have a little bit vibrations and then start moving, and this is kinetic friction, which is just less than the static friction, maximum static friction. As the speed increases, it will get a further reduced a bit, and at higher speeds it will become constant. This is a transition zone where the friction changes into kinetic friction. This is a very narrow region. I have shown in the exaggerated way, but it is a very narrow region. So this is maximum which can be generated. Then since F max is less than F, the block moves towards the right and frictional force 106 will act towards the left. In that condition, in this condition, the block will be moving this way and the frictional force will be acting like this. In the second case now, let P be the force which needs to be added. What we want? We want to add P force here extra, so that the block moves this way. In that condition, frictional force will be acting this way. Or how much? That is maximum 106.25. Again, same way, resolve the forces along the plane or vertical to the plane. Same concept we will be going to apply everywhere. Minus 120 plus P, that is minus P, bracket close, we close the bracket, it will become plus, equal to 350 cos 30 minus plus F max. F max, this is F max. Okay. Then just solve it, you will find F equal to 289.35. Means you need 289.35 plus 120. This much force is required so that the block starts moving towards left. Means total force becomes 289.35 plus 120. That is 39.904. This much force you will require so that the block starts moving towards left side this way. Now, this is the next problem. Two blocks A and B of weighing 4 kilonewton and 2 kilonewton respectively are in equilibrium position as shown in figure 4.13. This block is 4 kilonewton, this block is 3 kilonewton. Four kilonewton, then 2 kilonewton. Now, the coefficient of friction between two blocks as well as the floor is 0.25 here and here. calculate for the force P required to move the block. Okay, first of all, draw the free body diagram for the two blocks. This is a free body diagram for block B, and this is the free body diagram for block A. This is for block B. Here, for block A, consider this force to act here, and this frictional force act here. In that condition, just resolve the forces along the plane and vertical to the plane. Here, this is your, you let tension is the T. Now consider one more one. When you are moving this block A towards left, virtually you are moving block B towards right. In that case, when seen from the block B, the frictional force will be generated towards left. The frictional force will be acting towards left. That is FA. So, here resolve the forces along the plane and vertical to the plane. Here RB will be, for block B, equal to WB minus tension in the rope T sin 30. On the next slide, we have given the solution here. That is it. This is a tension T, then T when resolving along the plane T cos 30 minus FB. FB is equal to mu RB equal to 0. So T cos 30 is equal to mu RB. Your first equation comes out. Say first. Now RB, resolving vertically. RB plus T sin 30, this is T sin 30 here, T sin 30 minus WB is equal to 0, that is summation F vertical equal to 0 कर रहे हैं हम यहाँ पे. There F x is equal to 0 किया हमने, यहाँ y equal to 0 किया हमने यहाँ पे. Okay. What will happen? RB plus T sin 30 minus WB, which gives T sin 30 equal to WB minus RB. Just put the value of RB in this. Then for the tan 30 will be WB minus RB upon mu RB. 30 degree tan 30 value this much, then RB this much, then one calculation RB comes out to be 1.748 Newton, and FB equal to mu RB, which comes out to be 0.437 Newton. Now considering the equilibrium of block A, resolving the forces along the horizontal and vertical directions. Now when seeing from the block A, the frictional force between the two surfaces will be this way, which was equal to how much? 0.437. So FB plus mu RB plus minus P equal to FB plus mu RA. On solving, you find then that P equal to 1.874. Now this is another problem. Example 4.8. Two blocks A and B weighing 50 kg and 80 kg respectively are in equilibrium in the position shown in figure 4.15. Calculate the force P required to move the lower block B between and the tension in the cable. Take coefficient of friction on all contact surfaces as 0.3. First, calculate the weight, that is 50 into 9.81, that is 490.5 Newton, and weight of the block is 784.8 Newton. As the block B tends to move towards right, it will be rubbing action between the surfaces of block A and B. The rubbing action will cause the force of friction to act between the two surfaces. The block is tied to the cable, the other end of the which is fixed to a vertical wall. When the block B tends to move towards right, the block A moves towards left. Virtually, when we compare sitting on block A, we will find that block is in comparison to block B, it is moving towards left like this. With respect, hence the force of friction F mu R1 will be on this direction. As the block is tied to the cable, the other end of which is fixed to the vertical plane. When the block B tends to move towards right, the block A must move towards left with respect to block B. Hence, the force of friction F mu R1 on the lower surface of block A will act towards right as shown in the free body diagram on the next page. Here, consider this case like this. Again, same revolving along the plane and vertical to the plane. All the problems will be dealt with this concept only. Here, summation Fx is equal to 0 means T minus T plus mu R1 equal to 0, T is equal to mu R1 equal to 0.3 R1. Summation Fy equal to 0, R1 minus W1, R1 minus W1 equal to 0, R1 equal to W1 equal to 490.5 kilonewton, that is Newton. Now, considering the free body diagram of the block B, that is this one, the figure 4.16, summation Fx is equal to 0 minus mu1 R1 minus mu2 R2, because both will be acting towards left, plus P cos 30 equal to 0 or 0.3 into 490.5, that is normal reaction, minus 0.3 R2. This is 490.5 normal reaction of the upper block, plus 0.866 P is equal to 0, or summation of y equal to 0 means R2 minus W2 minus R1 plus P sin 30, or R2 minus 784.8 minus 490.5 plus 0.5 P, that is sin 30 means 0.5. Then R2 equal to 1275 minus 0.5 P. This is one equation. Now, then from the first we find 0 minus 0.3 into 490.5 minus 0.3 into 1275.3 minus 0.5 P. What we have done? We have put the value of R2 in this, plus 0.886 P. On solving, we find P equal to 521.4 Newton. Again a typical problem. Two blocks A and B weighing 50 Newton and 80 Newton respectively are positioned as shown in the figure. There in the first problem the block was tied with a horizontal rope, but here we want to move this block 50 Newton by applying a weight over a frictionless pulley. So the tension in the air will be equal to W. This will be equal to tension here will be equal to W, because we have used the frictionless pulley here for the rope to wrap around it. This frictional force is here shown 0.28, but it is 0.3 while solving the problem. State whether B is stationary with respect to ground and A moves or B moves with respect to A. Proceed to determine the minimum value of W in the pen so that they motion to start. Here this is 0.3. Okay. The coefficient of friction between the block B and ground is 0.1 and is much less than the between the block A and B, that is 0.3. Obviously, when the weight W is put in the pen, the motion will start of both the blocks together. As such, the block B will be stationary with respect to A. How we are saying? We know that normal reaction, considering the just for the time being, just neglect this. The normal reaction will be for this will be neglect this 50 into 0.3, and if we apply horizontal force also, okay, and for this normal reaction here will be 0.1 into 50 plus 80, 130. Then you will find that this value is higher compared to this value. The force of friction generated is much higher on this surface here compared to this surface. Hence, this whole block will be moving as a single body. When we are pulling the 50 Newton block, that is block A, by applying a weight W on the string, making an angle of 30 degree. Now, consider the free body diagram here. With reference to the free body diagram of the whole system, the conditions for limiting equilibrium are summation Fx is equal to 0 means 0.1 R minus that plus W cos 30, which gives R equal to 8.66. Now, summation Fy equal to 0 means R minus 50 plus 80, that is 130 plus W sin 30, which gives you W equal to 14.28 Newton. That 14.28 Newton weight is needed to move this block in total towards right, hence the frictional force will be acting here, which is equal to this much. Now, the second case, how much force is required here so that the block A starts moving compared to block B. In this case, we have to just keep this block in position by tying with something. Then only this block we can move, upper block can move over it. So for that, just keep this block tied in position and just make a free body diagram for block A. You will find the weight required to move this block towards right. This is the second case here. This is again, they have made the calculus. This is the problem with this book, that is having some grammatical errors. This is 0.3. F is equal to 0.3 R. Summation Fx is equal to 0, that is W cos 30 minus 0.3 R. This is, yes, here it is correct, but here he has created a misprinting. R equal to 2.887 Newton. Now summation horizontal, that is vertical components of 0, R minus 50 plus W sin 30, which gives you W equal to 14.76 Newton. Hence, you require a force of 14.76 Newton weight, or you can say around 15 kg, 1.5 kg weight is required, so that this block, upper block, starts moving towards right. Take one more case. Here, a homogeneous block of weight W and height B rests on a horizontal plane. On its square base of side A, a force P is applied horizontally onto the block at height h. Here, what should be the again read again, a homogeneous block weight W and height B rests on a horizontal plane on its square base of side A. A force P is applied horizontally to the block at a height h. If the coefficient of friction is mu, determine the maximum value of h so that the block slides without toppling. Means it should not topple like this. When you apply a push here, the block will tend to topple like this. There will be a moment like this, about this point. So we want that this block should not topple. Then what force is applied and what should be the height h, so that this is not toppling but it is getting a motion like this. We want to know. Okay. Consider that when it is kept on the ground, the weight will be acting downward, but when we are just pushing it from here, this end will be just free of the ground and the whole action will be here. The reaction will be acting here, the frictional force will be acting here, its direction will be this way. So, in the total reaction is like this, that the total for resultant or total reaction or resultant friction, which we have already explained in the last lecture, that is S will be acting like this. So, for the conditions of static equilibrium, this S and this W and this P should be acting at a point. This W is not going to change its position, it will be acting at the center. Hence, this reaction will be cutting it somewhere else, and corresponding to that height this P should be applied, which is explained in the next slide very smartly here. At the instant of toppling, the entire reaction between the plane and block will be at point A, I told you earlier. Here, the body is acted upon by following set of forces. Weight of the block from the center, the force P applied, the resultant force, that is total reaction due to frictional force F, and the normal reaction. The resultant force is also called total reaction. Okay. Now, the system is in equilibrium. If system is in equilibrium, these forces would be concurrent and pass through a point. One thing is clear, that this center, this weight of the will be at the center of the this, hence this will be acting like this, and जहाँ ये काट रहा है उसके उसी corresponding we can maximum apply this force P. Okay. Since the system is in equilibrium, these forces would be concurrent and pass through a common point. Hence, tan theta, this theta is A by 2 upon h. That is, this is base, this is height. So, A by 2 upon h is the tan theta, or A upon 2h, you can say, or h equal to A upon 2 tan theta. Now, again consider this point. This is the frictional force, this is the normal reaction, or this is the resultant force or total reaction, making an angle of theta with the total reaction. And this is the straight line going and cutting this weight line at this point. Hence, this angle will also be theta. Hence, just you can and we have read already that angle of friction, how we read it, that is, this is the surface, we are keeping a block here, then normal reaction upward, weight downward, and the force applied say P, then force this is frictional force here, and this is the theta, is the friction angle. You compare it here like this. So, what will happen? This theta is the equal to coefficient of friction, the tan theta equal to mu, we have already read, that is mu equal to, in the impending condition, mu is equal to F upon R equal to tan theta. That is it. So, this is the condition, H should be equal to A upon 2 mu for the block to move without toppling. That is, this condition is height should be equal to this A upon 2 mu, so that the block will not topple and it will move in this direction. I think we are clear now. Let us proceed to the next, last problem, I think, in this lecture. A steel shelf of 1.5 meter height and 1 meter wide and weighing 400 Newton is mounted on brushes at bushes A and B. These are the bushes यहाँ पर, this one bush is here. Okay. These bushes do not rotate. They are not rotating. Rotation is restricted, but they can slide like this. When this shelf is moved along the floor Assuming that the coefficient of friction between the bushes and floor is 0.75, very high coefficient of friction. Work out the force required just to cause this shelf to move. If the shelf is not to tip over, determine the maximum height at which the force can be applied. This is a similar condition as it was told in the first problem, almost similar. So, when this almirah is kept, so this shelf is kept on the ground, by symmetry you can find out the weight which is distributed here and here centrally. So, 200 Newton here or 200 Newton here. Let P be the push that needs to be applied to the shelf to push set it, just set it into motion towards the right, that is this way. The body the force of friction is always opposite to the direction of motion. Accordingly, frictional force over the roller would be acting towards left. The direction of frictional force will be like this. When we apply a push here, this is a push we have applied. F A equal to Fb is equal to mu r 0.75 into 200, that is 150 Newton, that is the maximum frictional force. In the limiting equilibrium condition, the impending motion condition, the force are balanced, that is summation Fx is equal to P minus Fa minus Fp. So, P equal to 300 Newton. Thus, a force of 300 Newton is required to impending motion to the right. First condition, first answer is over. Now, the next is the condition of toppling, that is similar to the problem we showed in the before that is let h be the maximum height at which the push can be applied without causing a tip over of the shelf, taking moment about the point B clockwise position, that is 300 h, that is force is 300 Newton applied here. It will try to topple about this point. Okay, we have to avoid the toppling. When it is just to tip or topple, then this condition which is not shown in this problem, this RA will be almost 0. This reaction is acting to at the point, so moment of this will be always be 0, and this is 0, then P into H should be equal to W into this half. So, they have done the same way, 300 into H is equal to minus 400 into 0.5 plus RA into 1. So, they are solved like this, RA equal to 200 minus 300 H. So, RA cannot be negative, it is cannot, hence it can be a 0. So, considering it 0, H max is equal to 0.667 meter. Obviously, when H is less or equal to 0.667 meter, the shelf will just slide, and H greater than 0.667 meter, the shelf will tip over or topple about point B. Okay, thanks for watching this video. If you find it suitable, then just give me a mail at we will meet in the next lecture. Thanks for watching.